thank you for this meeting and for the interview. Could you please briefly tell what are you studying at the moment? What is your research focus?
Yeah, it's kind of complicated. My research focus is pragmatics. I'm primarily interested in how we make meaning together when we communicate, like how speakers might mean more than they say with their utterances, and how we as listeners manage to uncover those hidden intentions, and how speakers know that we're going to do that kind of recursive back and forth that's responsible for so much pragmatic enrichment, and so important to why human languages are so good for communication. Yeah. And then that's related to the fact that I'm interested in using computational tools to address those questions. So I think of myself as a linguist, but a lot of the methods in my work are methods from natural language processing. And that's partly because I think those are really powerful methods. And I think that whole field can be informed by things that we do in linguistics. And I also think that all of this pragmatic enrichment is really the most challenging set of problems from the point of view of natural language processing, because it's the stuff that's unwritten. It's the part of communication that goes beyond the linguistic and into the context and into our understanding of each other and our goals and plans and all of that stuff. So it should be the hardest set of problems for computational methods. But I also think that computational methods are incredibly powerful for understanding the core linguistic issues at play there.
Do you use mostly English as a material or other languages?
That's a good question. I guess by and large my work is in English, and maybe I should feel a little guilty about that. I'm completely persuaded by the arguments that it's kind of too bad that so much of NLP is built around English data because of how unusual English is as a language, how unusual it is culturally, how unusual it is from the point of view of standardization and variation and things like that. So it would be wonderful if there was more diversity, and I guess I should do more to contribute to that, because if I looked over my list of papers, I think I'd find mostly English.
Yeah. It's just pragmatics is really culturally connected. That's why I was asking. So it depends on them.
I thought you were asking about the NLP. Like if we move into research that's on discourse particles, for example, then the work that I have done and the work my students have done, that's mostly not on English, because English discourse particles maybe are not so interesting along the spectrum of particles. So when we were talking before, I was thinking a lot of the work of my student Tanya Rojas Esponda, who's now at Google. For her thesis research, she did wonderful, groundbreaking stuff on German discourse particles and the way that they're shaped by questions under discussion and things like that.
Yeah, but NLP, it is mostly English.
As a field, and I'm thinking about I've been involved in releasing a lot of big corpora that people use now, but those tend to be in English. But as you move into the more linguistic stuff, I think it's more multilingual.
Yeah.